Well, happy New Year's Day, everybody. Made it through the holidays. It was pouring yesterday and last night. I had to change all the bedding and everything. Even though it was pouring, I put a little umbrella over it and everything, and covered it with the vinyl thing right there. And the raccoon came last night. And even though it was raining, because I put everything over it, it stayed pretty dry inside. And the raccoon was chilling last night. Tonight, Polly's here. Polly didn't come out last night. Possums don't like to get wet. But, yeah. Boy, he's getting hairy and big. He's been coming around for about 3.5 months now. Like I had mentioned in another video. But, yeah, anyways, I had to clean the bedding out and everything and dry everything out. As you can see, it's all hanging. All the other bedding. And, drying off tonight. And I put fresh new towels and bedding inside there for them. But right now, he's eating. He's eating some pastrami and some grapes and some Chinese spare ribs that I cut up for him. And of course, the cat food. Tonight I'm going to try a different cat food. I'm giving him kitten chow tonight because I had to buy a bag for the kitten. So I figured I got such a big bag, I might as well try it out on the possum and the raccoon, see if they like it. Yeah. The water's over there, some nice clean water for him. The little day bed. Raccoon loves sitting in the day bed. But that's Polly. See if I can see his tail. He's got a beautiful long tail. He's a beautiful boy. I think he's a boy. They call him Polly. It's a unisex name, so. But, yeah. Well, that's Polly eating a nice Tim Din. As it turns out, he had buried 27 young kids in the crawl space. He buried one of the young kids outside in his backyard, and he didn't have any room left on his property, so he threw 5 remaining victims in the Des River. One of the bodies found floating in the Des Plaines River in April 1979 was that of Rob Beast, the 15-year-old boy whose disappearance had ultimately led to Gacy's downfall. He was very descriptive of what he had done with Rob Beast. Rob Beast's mom was waiting for him in the front park. Drinking his Wawas. Rob said to his mom, "Hey, I'm going to talk to a contractor about a job. I'll be right back." He goes back in the pharmacy. Gacy is in the back parking lot, the alleyway. And as Gacy's leaving, Rob follows him outside and says, "Excuse me, sir, I understand that you hire young kids, and I'm really interested in having a different job." And Gacy says, "Well, jump in the car, I'll have you fill out an application." So Gacy actually drives Beast willingly to Gacy's house. While there, Gacy... Well, usually after he eats and then he drinks, he goes inside and curls up under the blanket and takes a nappy poo. A beautiful long tail. Is the handcuff trick. Gacy actually handcuffs himself and turns around and struggles with the handcuffs and then turns back. I don't know if you can see it, but he's got an egg in there. He eats the egg. He grabs it with both hands usually, and he cracks the top off and then sucks everything out of it. The raccoon gets a hold of it, he just smashes it and starts licking it up. He's so messy, the raccoon. Polly's pretty good, but that freaking raccoon is so messy. Right now, he's got it in his mouth. I think he's trying to get the top off of it. Let's see. Looks like it.
Yeah, he's licking it out.
He would pick up these victims. Some were kids who weren't from him, but most were teenage runaways. Bringing them back to his house and
He's
giving them
going ham on that egg. He loves raw eggs. I only give him one, though, because of the cholesterol and the yolk. You gotta watch out, too, you know? Oh, he must have spilled some. He's licking it off. Yep, he's licking it off the towel. He must have spilled a little. That's why I changed the bedding.
And he said he had it perfected so well that he knew exactly how the body would react to each half turn.
You know what's unique about them is you can tell them when you see them by the markings on their ears. They're unique to them. Each markings on their ear, they're each unique to their markings. That's how you can tell them apart. That's what I've learned doing research on them. She said, gee, how do you really tell them apart? And I learned some stuff when I did a little research. Also, a little tidbit is, oh no, he's got the egg in his hands now. Yep, he's trying to get the top off. Look, he's fumbling around. Their brains, you know how our brains are connected, both hemispheres, the left and the right. Well, they also have two hemispheres in their brain, but they're not connected, which is pretty cool, I thought, when I learned that. I wonder if he got it open. I think he might have got it open now. I wonder what he was licking. Did he get that egg? Oh, it's not there anymore. He must have.
I got a tetanus shot and took me home. And he came over later that evening to check on if I was okay, or that was the theory. But he also had, some wine, and we were drinking, and he was kind of joking around. It was probably 10:30 at night. I was a high school wrestler. And he said, oh, you're a big wrestler guy. He started wrestling around with me. He got my left arm, and he got it behind me, and I felt put a handcuff on it. I kept flailing my right hand around so that he couldn't get my right arm, but eventually.
Oh, he likes that kitten chow.
My right arm, and he knocked me down to the floor with my hands behind me. He left the room for a few minutes, and I
Excuse me.
realized that if I pulled really hard on my right hand, that I could.
All the pastrami. He made a mess tonight.
I could get it out.
Boy, did he make a mess tonight. It's amazing how smart they are, though. He'll literally eat the grapes that are ripe, and if there's a couple that are a little soggy, he'll leave them behind. He doesn't like mango. He won't eat the mango when I give him mango. So once in a while, he'll eat all the banana, but he's not too keen on banana. His favorite fruit so far is grapes. He doesn't really like green apples, but he'll eat the red apples. He's so picky. He likes sour cream. He likes yogurt. Okay, now we're going to clean ourselves for an hour.
I did not fear for my life, and not fearing for my life and not panicking is probably what saved my life. So I'm sure when I got out of the handcuffs, if I tried to run for the door or do something, he was 33 years old and very strong, and I was 16 or 17. I'm sure he could have overpowered me if he knew he had to. Tony continued working for PDM for a few months after the attack, and only reported the incident after Casey's arrest. By the time the case went to trial, police had managed to identify the remains of 22 of the victims. So with Casey, we have around 30 bodies, different states of decomposition, some of which have been there for many years. Forensically, that sort of scene is a nightmare. You've got so many different things to dig up. It's a very complex.
Yep, there we go. Let's get in under the blanket. I hope he doesn't knock that food over with his tail. Yeah, he's doing his little movements, trying to get up underneath the blanket.
Effects that learning about these crimes has on the public is that it sort of reduces you to a state of childlike awe and terror. And you can imagine all these
He like claws at the blanket like a cat does and pulls it towards him, and then he gets into it and keeps going in circles around in circles underneath it until he's wrapped all up underneath the blanket and you can't even see him. So cute. Yeah, look at him. He's so cute. And I forget what it's called right now. He's doing this thing where he rubs his head against everything, kind of like cats do to mark their scent. I forget what it's called. Oh, he's gonna knock that food everywhere.
During the 5-week trial, the prosecution were desperate to prove that Gacy was fully responsible for his actions.
There's a difference between psychopathy and mental illness. Psychopaths are rational, they know what they're doing, and they know what they do is wrong, but they decide to do it anyway. So he was very culpable for his crimes.
he was vicious, he was evil, he was not insane in any way. He knew exactly what he was doing. And he killed these people for self-preservation because he was so well liked politically.
He's looking at that eggshell. Boy, he made a mess tonight.
One of the prosecution witnesses was Gacy's former employee, Tony Antonucci, who'd been attacked by the 37-year-old contractor.
I saw him in court, and he was off to my left, sitting at the table where the defense attorneys are, and he just stared straight forward. He was fairly far away. I might have caught his
That's more
eye
roast beef.
on occasion in the courtroom, but I was pretty nervous to be a witness on a trial of that significance, and even at that age, my early 20s.
On the 13th of March 1980, the jury had made their decision on the fate of John Wayne Gacy.
It didn't take long for them to find him guilty. I think it took maybe less than 3 hours, which was amazing. And then he was found guilty.
It was kind of amazing how fast everything went. When you look at other trials that have gone on, this trial went extremely fast.
In the final moments of the trial, one of the prosecutors, William Kunkel, called him ruthless, sadistic.
He must hear someone out there.
And I think that's a pretty apt description.
Judge Louis B. Guerrero sentenced Gacy to death. He was immediately taken to the Menard Correctional Center, Illinois, where he would remain on death row.
Drink him more water.
Whilst in jail, he took up painting, selling his artwork for profit.
Even when he was behind bars, he continued to control and manipulate people. He produced several paintings, several works of art, which he sold, and he maintained a legacy even after his death through those paintings. So he was still in control when he was behind bars. He still had power over other people, and he was still able to make choices and decisions.
The profits he gained from these paintings resulted in the government suing him for his earnings. Lawyer Karen Conti took on Gacy's case against the state.
Gacy liked to paint, and he was a terrible, terrible painter. And he painted horrible things like skulls and clowns and creepy things like that. But people bought them, and they paid $200 a shot for him to paint these ugly pictures. So that's the first thing he wanted to talk to us about when we went down there, knowing that what we wanted to do is represent the death penalty. What was surprising was he looked and acted just like anybody else, like your favorite uncle, like your next door neighbor. And if you think about it, that's probably why he got away with killing so many boys because he didn't look evil. You could not reconcile what he did with the man you were talking to.
Cameron was a firm opponent of the death penalty and represented Gacy during his final appeals against the sentence.
Over the years, Gacy had numerous appeals, and our system allows that. Appeals in the federal court, appeals in the state court. By the time that Gacy had his execution date set, we were out of traditional appeals.
There were certain serial killers, even staunch anti-death penalty advocates, who would not protest against the execution of somebody like Casey. If he felt any twinge of feeling sorry, he was only feeling sorry for himself. You know, these people are possessed with incredibly malignant narcissism. The only thing that they are capable of feeling anything for is themselves and their own needs.
When you have a client who has committed these horrific acts, 33 murders, no court is going to want to let him out. No court is going to want to change execution to life in prison because it's politically a disaster. Gacy had to be executed, and no matter what we alleged, even if we had really, really good arguments, I don't think anyone would have listened because it was John Gacy.
In a CBS TV interview filmed in Menard Correctional Center in May 1992, Gacy recanted his confession and tried to deny that he was guilty of any of the murders.
He claimed he was a victim of circumstance and clearly innocent. Now that was balderdash. He was guilty of sin. But nevertheless, he just proved what an extraordinary man he was. And throughout the interview, you could see the interviewer looking more and more astounded by Gacy's relaxation. He didn't look nervous. He looked absolutely composed, relaxed. If anything, a little angry. Why am I being put through this? It's not fair. It's a pure accident. I never did it.
We knew it was his last ditch effort, you know, everything else failed. He thought he could get away with, insanity plea, and that didn't work. So it was last ditch effort to